Next up is Josh Jaros. I don't know if I... Jaros. All right. Let's give Josh a hand.
Hi, my name's Joshua Jaros. I'm from just north of the Houston area, and I'm just going to share a short little blip about my kids. I have two boys. One is Elijah. He's 3 years old, and then I have an older son, Josiah, and he is 6. And these two boys are the pride and joy of my life. There's nothing I would do for my kids, and that's why I'm here today. I'm here for my kids, and I'm also here for other families that are going to have to go through this in the future. There aren't any kids here in Texas, in the U.S., in the world that deserve to go through the things that our kids have been going through. And it's hard on parents as well. It's a living hell going through having your kids taken away, having your rights stripped away from you. I want to share an important time in my ordeal. My ex had an affair, and she ran away and hid the kids on me. And I can remember that day she left with the kids, and I didn't know this was all going to take place. I didn't even know she was having an affair at the time. And I called later to talk to the kids, and she said, I'm not going to let you talk to them. After she finally responded to my text, I'm not going to let you talk to them. I'm not going to let you see them. You don't have any right to talk or see them anymore. And I fell apart at that time. I was in my kitchen, and I can still remember it. And I can remember my heart aching within me. And although it was difficult going through a divorce and losing your spouse and having her run off, it was more deep, and the pain was much more heartfelt to not be able to communicate with my children. Ever since my children were born, I was able to contact them. If I was gone out of town, if I was home, I was always able to see my children. And I loved my children. I'm a stand-up dad. Even now with I have an expanded custody agreement. I spend every second with my kids. I do not miss any time. I leave work early at my own expense. I give everything up that I can to have that time with that time with my kids. A part of it is because I couldn't hire a babysitter in the first place because I'm broke as it is. But every second that I get, I use all of my expanded time, all my expanded possession time. I went back recently for a custody modification. That was this January. And the reason I went back for this modification is I wanted more time with my children. I do not have 50%. I believe it is every parent's right, every fit parent's right to have 50% with their children. And I went back to the court and I said, hey, I'd like more time with my child, and this is the reason why. And the reason why was because their mom would leave them with a babysitter when I was available the whole day or part of the day. And I thought, wow, if they're going with a babysitter or if they're going to daycare, why not give the father that time? Why not let me have them during that time? I mean, it seems a very reasonable request. And so I went in January back to court to ask that, and I was not granted that right. This last Thursday, it was at the second weekend, so it was not my weekend. This last Thursday, I had him overnight, and I had to bring my youngest son back and put him in daycare. And it's tough. It's tough for my kids. My youngest son Elijah held on to me, and honestly, sometimes I wonder what do I have to do, And I try to make it as painless as I can, and I sneak out. And this last Thursday, my little son, he ran to the window of the daycare, and he watched me with his eyes as I left. And I'll tell you, that stuff is hard. And I wonder how our legislature in Texas and how our governor has not addressed this issue. We're way more concerned about the bathroom situation. We're more concerned about the border, and those are true issues that we need to be concerned about. But when are they going to be concerned about my sons? What are they going to be concerned about the future of Texas, our children, and the damage that they are doing to them. And why? It's for the money. Do you know why that judge did not give me that extra time with the children? Do you know why she thought the children should have more time with a babysitter or a daycare than with their father? It's because of the money. The federal government is subsidizing extortion. And you know what? The cost is not the money that we pay out. The cost of all this legislation that's being inflicted upon us is our children. Our children are being damaged in ways that we know right now. You know, the courts say that this is to be in the child's best interest. But you look at all the studies out there right now. There is damage being done. This has nothing to do with our children and what is best for them. This has everything to do with how people can line their pockets with money. I spent over $100,000 just to get in a modified custody agreement. My savings has been wiped out. My parents helped me. They gave me savings from what they had. My parents are not retired. They are still helping me financially right now because I can't even make it on what I do make. It's all about the money. Just a couple things. I really encourage you. 3 things that I've learned real quickly. Number 1, never say anything bad about the other parent. I want to toot my horn on that because I feel it's very important for those of us that right now we do not have equal custody. Always build the other parent up. I can't tell you if you're in a situation with parent alienation, your children will appreciate that. I've seen fruit from that in my own relationship with my children. Number 2, take time with your children. Before you leave, give them a hug. And when they come up to you, if they're small enough, you can get down on one knee, give them a hug, and tell them how happy you are to see them. And spend quality time with them. Do stuff with them. Talk to them, listen with them, do craft projects with them. My boys and I, we go camping. Sometimes in the springtime, we're camping every single weekend. We do craft projects. This last year, we collected butterflies and dragonflies and damselflies, and we pinned them. And the third thing is that I want to share with you is don't ever give up. You know, I truly do believe that this legislation will pass. As others have said, it's only a matter of time till this legislation passes. I expect 3 to 5 years. I would be excited to see it pass this year. I am from Minnesota. Minnesota's already passed a pretty decent equal parenting law. There are other states that have passed equal parenting legislation as well. It's sweeping the country. It's gonna pass. Stick with it. And please don't ever give up on your kids. This is important. And this is why we are here. We are here for our children. We're here for the future of Texas. Thank you.